frauds. I'm doing it. I hate to do it to my frat brother Mike Tomlin, but I got to say, they're frauds. Smalls, I don't want to hear about how it's a great defense. You're not a great defense. The Colts kept hitting their head on the goalpost to start the game. I mean, they led with 3 straight scoring drives, including back-to-back touchdowns. No, they're frauds. Don't give me that. And then the backup quarterback, Joe Flacco, comes in and looks great. If you're the best defense in the entire NFL, how do you let that game get that out of hand for your offense? No, man. Frauds. Frauds. The Pittsburgh Steelers are frauds.
All right, I think we know how he feels. 3-time Super Bowl champ Tedy Bruschi in the house. Always good to see you,
Thanks,
Tedy. Thank you for being with us.
Essay,
I'm coming right to you. Frauds. It kind of sounds like you.
Well, that's naturally me. I've always been that way. I don't know who the hell Chris Canty is. What has happened to him? I've never seen him like this. He's causing trouble I guess it's the fact that he got to get up early in the morning now to do the morning show.
Maybe he's cranky.
He has never been this cranky. I mean, I was always that way. This guy, I'm looking at Chris Canty. I'm like, oh my Lord, I can't believe the things that I'm hearing coming out of his mouth. I'm not going to call the Steelers frauds, but I will say yesterday was a disappointment. They were very, very sloppy. They let Indianapolis come right out the gate. I mean, when you saw Richardson connect with Pittman Jr. and they set up that touchdown drive to begin the game, I'm just looking at them. And then you let Joe Flacco come in. And all I can think about these days when I see Joe Flacco is, how the hell is Cleveland Browns saying they never wanted him back after the job he did in Cleveland last year, considering how Deshaun Watson has looked this year? I mean, I don't understand how that goes, but nevertheless, speaking to the Steelers, I'm not going to call them frauds. I think that'll be a bit extreme. The expectations for them were not that high to begin with. We looked at Baltimore, we looked at Cincinnati, and we said to ourselves, the Steelers will struggle to get in the mix, yet they're 3-1 thus far. We know they got problems at the quarterback position, even though Justin Fields has played relatively well thus far, not really turning the ball over. Their defense is big time. It wasn't yesterday for the first half or so, but their defense is big time. Offensively, whether it's Pickens, whether it's Freiermuth, whether it's Najee Harris out of the backfield or whomever, they've got some weapons. But in the end, fraudulent is when there are expectations of you that are not met. And in the case of the Pittsburgh Steelers, expectations haven't been that high.
I think people still thought they could make the playoffs. Tedy,
you still think that?
When you're trying to be something that you're not, basically you're a fraud. And I think it's obvious to see who the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to be. I mean, to have a great defense that performs lights out for you and scores on defense and gets those strip sacks and makes big plays for you every single week is impossible. It's just, there just aren't those defenses anymore. Can you have a good defense still like the Steelers have, like the Vikings have, some teams have? I mean, Denver Broncos have. They're playing good too. Yes, but on a week-to-week to be dominant, it's so hard on how this league is based. So I don't have any doubt on this defense. I mean, bringing in Joe Flacco, like you're saying, Stephen A., it almost should have made things even more simple for the defense. But I tell you, I never underestimate that guy. I mean, in terms of Joe Flacco.
Well, Tomlin said that he's a more accurate thrower than Richardson.
Well, look what he did with the Browns
and
last
that's why
year.
they blitzed him as much as they would have blitzed Richardson. That's what he said.
What do receivers think when Joe Flacco comes into the huddle?
Seriously.
I know this guy's going to throw it, and I'm going to have to be where I'm going to have to be because he's going to put it there. That's for Joe Flacco. So the fraudulent part, I disagree with. They were behind, which is new. And Justin Fields showed that he can bring them back, actually. I mean, leading the team in passing and rushing for 2 touchdowns. I mean, the defense made a play at the end. They're down 27-24. They had to get a 3-and-out. So, boom, we get the 3-and-out. Now it's all you, Justin. So you're going to win games like that all the time when finally, it's on you, kid. You got to be the one that's winning you got to be one that's winning in the fourth quarter. The play where he lifted his leg and the ball went off of him, the bad snap, and he talked about it after the game. He said, it's on me. I lifted up. When you lift up your leg, the ball is supposed to come. He took an extra peek. He took an extra peek, he said it himself, to get an extra picture, and the ball was snapped.
Right. Yep.
I mean, that's him learning. This is what you have to do when you have Justin Fields. Give him the chances and learn with those chances right there. I mean, it's just... I see it. It's so close for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're not frauds because I see the formula. Who Justin Fields, who they're trying to make him be, who the defense is going to be, and put him in those situations once in a while. Not every week, but once in a while. I think the next time he has it, he'll succeed in that situation.
Go ahead, Shay.
I was kind of impressed with Justin Fields. Because Bruschi, I wanted to see if they ever got behind, would they turn him loose? And they had no choice but to turn him loose. When you fall down 17, you can't consistently just hand the football off and run the football. You have to allow your quarterback to throw the football to try and get you back in the game. And yeah, he had a couple of turnovers. He had one that he got up and he tried, and the guy stripped him, and instead of just falling on the ball, he tried to get up and run with it, and he ended up turning the football over. But I was impressed with Justin Fields because I wanted to see if that defense, and like you said, Bruschi, it's not going to be a situation, I'm sorry, you're not going to have another 2,000 Ravens that you go into the ball game and the opposing team is probably only going to score 10 points. The likelihood of that happening is not very good. And a lot of times it was going to be a shutout. But to have your defense give up those 17 early points, and they say, you know what, Justin, we need you to kind of be Superman again. And he got them back into the ball game. They were a play away from probably making something happen at the end. But I wanted to see, I don't believe they're fraudulent, Stephen A., for the very thing, because I don't think anybody thought they were going to win the division anyway.
The Chiefs pulled off a late victory over the Chargers on Sunday, 17-10, but they suffered a huge loss in the game that could potentially be very serious moving forward. Wide receiver Rashee Rice, the NFL's leading receiver through the first 3 weeks of the season, was carted off the field after a Patrick Mahomes interception led to the quarterback accidentally plowing into his favorite target's knee as he tried to tackle a Chargers defender who picked him off. Here's Mahomes.
I didn't know exactly what happened because obviously I was trying to make the tackle, but I know Rashee and how tough he is. So him being down like that, I knew it wasn't good. So all we can do is pray that the X-rays in my eyes and stuff like that are better than what it looked. But I mean, next man up until he's back.
Not going to lie, didn't look good, and this is a huge blow. Shannon, are Casey's three-peat chances over if they lose Rice for the season?
Bruce, you understand, you've been in situations, Tedy, where you've been back-to-back, and you try to go from the three-peat. And when people ask me earlier this year, who is the biggest detriment, who's in the way, I say the Chiefs. I say the injuries. I mean, you lose Hollywood Brown early. You lost Pacheco. Now you're down Rashee Rice. That's 3 of your top weapons that you're without of. And at some point in time, and I know Patrick Mahomes is historically great, he's the only quarterback since 1950 to have a winning record when falling behind by 10 or more points. He's 13-12. No other quarterback since 1950 is even 500, let alone above 500. So it just goes to show you. But at some point in time, as great a quarterback as you are, and we saw that with Tom Brady, as the talent pool started to drain in New England, even his greatness wasn't able to lift a sinking ship. And some point in time, it's going to catch up because you're going to start asking guys to play that you weren't counting on. There's a reason why they're called backups. They're having to, look, and I thought came in and did Kareem Hunt came in off the street and did an unbelievable job running the football and catching the football. Their defense, Bruschi, is playing unbelievable. Chris Jones, you can make a case he's one of the 2 or 3 best defensive players in all of football. He can stop the run. He can pressure your quarterback. They do a great job of getting after your quarterback. They got a lockdown corner in Duffy. Reed is really good at the safety position. But at some point in time, it's going to catch up with you. You just can't keep losing starters that you were counting on. Your running game, and they still running the football. I'm surprised that they're still able to run the football as well as they did after they lost Pacheco. But at some point in time, I think it's going to catch up with him. And Patrick is not playing. He's still a little off because I'm measuring Patrick against a younger Patrick. And some of the throws that he's missing, he never missed those throws before. I think it's going to catch up with him eventually.
And 2006, our year when we lost in the AFC Championship game to the Colts, that's when Tom was trying to do the most with the least, I think. And then that's pretty much as far as we could get because Patrick's talking about next man up, but you do run out of men. Yeah. Right, and then
that's why you went out and got Randy Moss next year.
That's why the next year it's like, all right, it's time to get Moss and bring in these guys and Welker, and now let's go score 40 a game. But I mean, so what do? I mean, they're still not out of it. Will they be there in the end? Absolutely. For the division, I mean, will it be? So that means they will be in the playoffs, and you're going to have to deal with them. Is it something, if they do nothing before the trade deadline? Can you see it as, man, they just didn't have enough because now everybody's just going to take away Travis Kelce, where they can only do so many 9 routes and trick plays and all of that stuff? How will he develop? But you can see them, the excuse is already built in. What are they going to do? All right, are they going to bring in anybody before the trade deadline that can come in and help these guys? I do think that should be possible, and that should be something they should think about. You say D-Hop, I would love D-Hop because you know this. You got a couple championships.
You can't let D-Hop get to Kansas City. That would be unfair.
That
would be unfair.
You got a couple championships in your back pocket,
right.
Okay? Like Shannon's also had, and you're still trying to win another one. What gives you motivation, okay? What gives you motivation if you bring in a veteran that is so well respected and so well liked, all of your players look to him and say, we want to win one for him. We had Moss. We wanted to win for him. We had Sayal. We wanted to win for him. All of us had won 3 championships before. But look at these Hall of Fame players, these best at their position for so long, and now they're on our team, and they're bringing us energy because of their skill, ability, and want to and desire to win one. If they bring someone in that equals that, I mean, is it Hop? Is it, I don't know how, but if they would get Devontae Adams, I mean, is it a Cooper, something
Good
like
Lord.
that?
Look at the names you're bringing up. What's the matter with you?
And I'm bringing up
Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins.
That's why I think Hop would be perfect.
How you bring up those names for Patrick Mahomes?
I think Hop would be perfect. He would be like, just get me out of here.
You can't let
put
it happen.
me in there.
I'm not saying they would. I'm saying they're so elite to put them with Patrick Mahomes would be unfair. That's what I'm saying.
How many times in our time?
Let that happen.
How many times in our time were things unfair when people were? They're already complaining about all these calls that the Chiefs are getting, who they've got. I mean, all the refs are on their side. It's what they do when someone keeps
Molly
winning.
knows this. I got my boy Jeff that lives out in California. You always says fair is a place where they judge pigs. It doesn't exist.
Okay, yeah,
so we're not thinking about fairness. I got that, okay? Here's my point, though, y'all. I would say let's pump the brakes a little bit on being overly concerned about the Chiefs. Hear me out. Rice, probably out. God bless him. I hope he's well, but they're speculating that it's probably a torn ACL. We don't wish that on anybody. I hope he's well, all right? Clyde Edwards-Helaire is coming back. And remember, he wasn't injured. He had post-traumatic stress disorder, and so that's why he was taken. It wasn't a football injury list per se, so he's expected to be back, right? Okay. Then you got Pacheco. He's expected back, obviously. You think about Hollywood Brown. He's expected back, albeit by late December, early January. He's expected back. So I'm looking at it from this standpoint. Wait a minute. Some of these weapons, most of them are expected to be back come playoff time. So now we get to the regular season. How much faith do you have that Travis Kelce, with Andy Reid, with Patrick Mahomes, with Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, and that defense can do enough to get you to the postseason? I think they can.
There's a lot of ifs there, though. To Teddy's point, you get a
we're
little extra
not talking
juice. We're talking
postseason.
a three-peat.
Hold on, y'all.
Get the juice.
Wait a minute here. It's not too much. It's not too many ifs when we're talking about Patrick Mahomes. That's the whole point.
Stephen A.
Because it's
he
him.
might come back December. He might.
I'm just telling you.
I
That's
know,
what
but I'm
saying.
saying all those mights. Do you know?
But they're saying that they're projected.
A third straight Super Bowl.
They're saying they're projected to come back at those times.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying to you is this: if Patrick Mahomes, it really comes down to what you believe they can do during the regular season.